everybody. We've been asked to have a chat, a creative conversation about women having low self-confidence. And we thought we'd do a wee short video on that, and just even to talk about how common it is for a lot of women. And for me, anyway, my part in that would be with the women's confidence groups that I would be part of, with especially in Atlas, would be a lot of women coming in. One of the things that usually comes up is, well, what are you coming to class for? I want to feel more confident. I want to have self-esteem. I want to be able to take things on. So what we would look at is, well, what's missing? What do you think's missing? And quite often what comes up from that was, well, I can't say no. What about that one for you? Go on. What about that one for you?
People pleasing.
I land that one on your
You just don't want me. People pleasing. That's been actually, I've been working on that for years.
Yeah, but I think we all do.
But it's only now I'm actually taking steps to sort of to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's just from the start of this year. That was one of my things that I was definitely changing about myself this year.
Yeah.
Was saying no and
being able to say no.
Being confident enough to say no, because I'm asked to do stuff, as you know, all the time by various different people, and I keep saying yes and leaving myself stressed to the gills, really badly stressed. It doesn't serve me at all in any way to be taking the work on, but I never have the confidence to sort of say no to people, because I don't want them to think bad of me, or I don't want, always wanting people to supposed to think good of me in that way.
But I think that is the most common thing for women. It's because as women, mostly, not always, but mostly, we are main carer. And quite often you do so many things for your family, and even for us to say no to our children, it's usually a really difficult one. My lot will tell you that I'm quite good at it. But it took me years
one of my
to do
children
that.
I can't say no to. Get out the door. What do you mean no?
But there is that thing, so and especially when women come into a group, that is the one thing that they'll talk about is, I can't say no. And it reminds me of a story of a woman years ago that I worked with. And she was actually, at the time, she was getting support. And she said that, so this is the depths that some of us will go to. She had a big family, and if one of her children would have said, can you babysit for me, for example? I'm not going to give you too much detail, but if, can you babysit for me? And she would have said, oh yeah, that's okay. Inside she's saying, oh God,
I know that's what I know that well.
But then what she would have done would have, the next child that would have been one of her children, she'd have said, can you tell, say, Mark, can you tell Mark that I'm going to your house? So this became a thing, it became a lie then. So it's like, at the end of the day, why can we not just say no? And it's back to what you said. You want people to like you. You don't want to let people down. But you know who you're saying no to the most?
Myself.
Exactly.
And I learned that.
Exactly.
I learned that big time last year, sort of thing.
So it's really important to think about, so low self-confidence, low self-esteem is usually because through most of your life you've said yes to everybody else and you've said no to yourself. So I would always advise anyone who's working on that to join a group where you can actually, working on confidence, working on self-esteem. Another plug for Atlas, we run a confidence program in Atlas. And my role there is to support women to have conversations about that. And I am under no illusion, although I facilitate those programs, the real learning for all women comes when you hear another woman in the room say, I can't say no. So always, do you know what I mean? Do you agree with that?
Totally. And how am I taking that forward? That's obviously me working with you, but how I'm taking that forward is and you taught me throughout last year, my self-worth is not negotiable.
Absolutely not.
Which I love. And I know that I'm a good person. I know that I'm a kind person. I know that I give of myself for other people. Yes. But it was trying to find that balance and having the confidence to sort of to sit in my balance sort of thing.
Yes.
So my balance is between what I can and what I can't do. Or what sits with me and what doesn't sit with me. So I started this year like that, and I think that's what's alleviating a lot of my anxieties too. Is even though it's awful to have to do the saying no, in them moments this year for me so far, I actually have felt so much respect for myself.
Yeah.
More than anything. And no anxiety over it, no bad feeling over it, no nothing, because what I've actually done is put myself first. For the first time in my life, actually. This year I put myself first.
And there's a real sense of, although it's scary, it's scary to put yourself first, because you are putting yourself at risk of not being liked, not being loved even, not being cared for. But actually, if you turn that on its head, and
or being looking like you're selfish, can I just say that?
Oh,
because people would
absolutely.
go, putting yourself first is selfish.
Yes.
But I've learned from you that that's not selfish. It's survival, basically.
Absolutely. And I would, if you hear yourself say selfish, or if someone else says that to you, replace it with self-care, because quite often then you can actually challenge it. So again, working with women who maybe are hearing that, well, that's awful selfish that you want to go out, or that's awful selfish that you can't do that for me, or why didn't you go and get that? You're awful selfish, you're thinking of yourself. Well, actually, yes, I am. And if that person can't allow you to think of yourself for once, then ask yourself, what are they doing? Are they looking after their needs, or are they looking after your needs? Because it's not a crime to look after your own needs. And self-confidence is one of those things that you have to take a risk to do something. Like say no, because it's only by saying no you get the feeling. That is scary for the first time, there's no doubt about it, it's scary. But you then start to say, God, it's okay to say no. And if it's not okay, well, let the person get over themselves. You're actually speaking for you. And it's okay to do that. And it's, I can't believe it was true. Isn't it? Just, if someone is just wanting you to give up your life for them, why are they doing that? Because there's another story going in underneath that somewhere. If someone really cares for you and someone really loves you, then they would want the best for you too, wouldn't they? So start wanting the best for yourself. Take risks by doing things that take you out of your zone.
Even the stepping outside to do things you maybe you've no confidence to do. Because with me stepping into community work all those years ago, whenever I was suffering from anxiety, I had bouts of agoraphobia. If you were to have a word with a certain PTA in Lisburn, they would tell you about me coming in and taking a panic attack in the middle of a meeting one day, and that was just all having no confidence to sort of put myself out there. And what I did was I kept doing it, even though it was challenging and hard. I kept doing it because I'm not saying this is for everybody, but for me personally, I believe that I have to work to go through something to come out the other side of it.
But it is for everybody.
So I built my confidence by putting myself into situations and places that I was uncomfortable with.
And you've just reminded me of something, exactly what you've said, that's really important, because in group work that I would do, there's this notion that people will say, well, I've come to, even just use an example of a group, I've come to the group tonight but I was scared. Some women will maybe come to the door, the front door, they don't come up the stairs, they'll maybe come up the stairs, they'll get to that door, they'll walk out, and that's all testing your own confidence. But quite often what happens when you actually get yourself into something new, as you say, Shirley, it's scary, but it's a different kind of scary. Because to push in your self-confidence, we talked earlier about, I talked about my art as well, it is, you will get the same feelings. It's like the fight or flight feeling that you want to run away from your own greatness. But no, hang in there, girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever. Any guy, if it's the same thing, not boyfriend, you know what I mean. Any guy. So for guys, they'll talk about this too. For women, we have to be seen as the carers. For the guys, they would have to be the protector. So to step outside of any of those things, or to say that you don't want to, do particular things that other people expect of you, it's a challenge. But you get the same kind of feelings as when it's like a fear-based feeling. But if it's your choice to do it and you're picking the time and you're in control of it, then keep pushing on, because you see the other side of that fear. Oh, if you only knew what was waiting on you. If you only knew. So to the person who asked about self-confidence, it's inside you, but you just have to take the risk, and you have to believe that you are your own worth is as important as all the people that you care for, that you say yes to. Start saying yes to yourself. Your self-worth should not be negotiable. Absolutely. She taught me that. On that note, high five, girlfriend. Go get him, girlfriend.